Hello there! Welcome back to Mom and Just Moment Talk Show, one of our insightful episodes in the motherhood series. So today we found it quite conveniencing to use our car, and I have my wonderful guest here with me, Mrs Victoria. She will introduce herself properly. We are treating the topic referred to as maternal instinct, conviction, or intuition. Sit back, relax, and catch up on this insightful discussion. So, Mrs. Victoria, welcome to Mom and Just Moment Talk Show.
Thank you. It's actually an honor to be here.
Make yourself known to the viewers if you don't mind.
Okay. Hello.
I hope they can hear you well.
Yes. Well, I'm going to try and be as loud as possible.
Okay.
My name is Victoria Nwuke. Okay, and I'm based here in South Africa, and I happen to know my friend here for some years now, and I've been a fan of the show from inception. Okay, so I'm really delighted to be here. Thank you so much. Thank you.
It's a pleasure having you.
Yes.
She is one very intelligent woman I know, and she talks very deep. Reason I gave her this topic. By the way, she's the mother of a very cute toddler. So based on her maternal instincts, she's going to discuss with us what she thinks about conviction and intuition with regards to maternal instincts. So once again, welcome. We are going to start by asking what exactly is maternal instinct. I think that's just the basic question to start this topic with. What is maternal instinct?
First and foremost, when you talk about maternal instincts, there's just the word that jumps out to you is the word instinct.
Okay.
Okay. I know there's a whole lot of definitions for instincts, but from the way I understand it, I know that instincts are some kind of intuitions or things that give you a way of reacting to circumstances. Sometimes some people refer to it as feelings. Some people will say, okay, I just have this gut feeling. Some people say it's just this feeling deep within me. I can't explain. Sometimes it doesn't even have to, contain some form of reasoning or the other. It can just come out. It's more like it's innate, it's natural. It's like something that I would say God has given man the opportunity or the ability to protect himself and perhaps even his loved ones. So when you're talking about maternal instincts, then you combine both words. Of course, motherly or maternal refers to the mother and perhaps maybe a child involved or children. So when you have maternal instincts, you're talking about that thing in a woman, that makes her want to always protect her child or children. It's something that makes her know, okay, this is how best to react to a certain factor or a certain situation.
Absolutely.
And like I always tell some people, it's always comes to life when there is a bond involved most of the time. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much for that insightful explanation. I think I would rather bring our tripod stand closer so that we can see clearly and our voice will be more audible. So based on what our guest has discussed, she has tried to make us understand that basically it has to do with our gut feelings. That's when we talk about conviction. And then with regards to maternal instincts, it's something that even animals are prone to have to protect their loved ones, and generally it's a gift ordained or given to people by given God. To man by God. Okay, so let's just look at the possible benefits of these maternal instincts when they kick in. What are the possible benefits?
Okay, so the benefits are quite enormous. Okay, one of it is human. When I say man, I'm referring to like a human being. Is always out to protect himself. Like I said earlier, and those around him, or loved ones.
Yeah.
So one of the benefits of instincts is self-preservation.
Yeah.
That's number one, if you ask me my opinion, self-preservation. And self-preservation means that you're able to sense when there is danger or when something perhaps negative is going to occur and take steps, ahead of time to sort of prevent it.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't happen to you. And I found out that in most cases, when ignored, can
Leads to danger.
lead to a whole lot of regrets, and some form of danger.
That's true.
Okay, so apart from self-preservation, you also have benefits like making you more aware of yourself and environment.
Okay.
So it helps you boost your ability to react to things, ability to be able to relate to your subconscious, mind. I want to believe that man is a very complex being.
Absolutely.
So there's a whole lot that occurs beneath this physical realm.
That's true.
That's why I said when it comes to instincts, sometimes it doesn't even require some form of reasoning or the other. It just happens. So if I, for example, have developed a habit, of always following my instincts, then I'll come to realize that I will have developed a pattern. That yes, whenever I feel this way, I know it's because something like this is about to happen. Because I've had a history of always following my instincts or intuition. Yes.
Yeah.
So self-preservation and an ability to appreciate oneself and appreciate one's environment. It gives you a deeper understanding of what your environment is
and how to react.
And how to react, both physically. It gives you ability to be able to appreciate who you are as a mind, that has a mind.
Absolutely.
Yes. So basically, those two
basic
are the things that actually stand out. Yes.
And I think even for animals, it's quite relatable for them. Yeah. Let's shed more light on the difference between conviction and intuition, because from my own perspective, I believe in the conviction is deeper and more on a spiritual level. Can you shed more light on these two differences?
Yes. Thank you for that. Okay, so conviction, intuition. It's a very subtle difference, really.
Okay.
It's very subtle because God lives in so many ways. People have different ways of being able to express how God leads them. I, for example, I would let me give an example, first before I eventually outline the differences boldly. For example, if I actually just wake up one day and I realize there's a nudge in my spirit or in my mind that wouldn't just leave, or something that I feel that beyond all reasonable doubt, this has to be the truth or the best way to go about this particular thing. I'm so convinced, regardless of what any other person says, that there's a high chance or possibility,
going right
that this way that I feel is the right way. And I might not be able to really relate in words or explain to you
others,
how exactly, what exactly that means. But then at the end of the day, in most cases, find out that I was actually right.
Wow.
But intuition now, I would like to think of intuition as it's a feeling, but then it gives me a choice.
Okay.
I still have a choice with conviction, but conviction is actually stronger.
Conviction is stronger.
Yes.
I believe you.
Convictions are stronger, they are more persistent. But intuitions, you can easily override.
More shallow level.
Yes, that's the word. Thank you. Intuitions sort of come and go. Maybe I should actually do this or not. But convictions, anytime you think about that particular thing or that particular person or that particular concept, the belief just keeps getting stronger and stronger and stronger. But with intuition or instincts, I don't know how to put it. It's just, I can easily just find a way around this one. And damn the consequences, which might not be a good thing to do either way. So, but it's quite a subtle,
difference
between
both of them.
And both of them are good either way.
I believe so too. Thank you so much for that very informative contribution. Let's try to see how you, as a mother, can you share with us any experiences where you have been able to apply your intuitive thoughts or convictions?
That's a very interesting one. I have a lot.
Because I know mothers out there
I actually
would
have
like
a lot.
to hear and see
I'm
how
just,
they could relate to any
you
of
know,
your experiences.
conviction. In terms of conviction, okay, let me just put it that I was a time I was actually my little child, was not feeling so well. And I just felt, okay, what could be the problem right now? And I tried as much as possible to see, okay, I wasn't in a position, to sort of like take him for a checkup immediately.
Okay.
I needed to do something urgently, to help him get rid of that discomfort temporarily. So I thought about it, I prayed about it, and the idea just popped. But even though I sort of didn't believe in myself or ability to be able to come up with any idea that could be of help, but then I still, the feeling just became so strong. Like it was like someone in my mind was just telling me, if you do this, this will be the right way to go. If you do this, you'll be able to help this child. And so I ended up, I think I made that particular decision.
Okay.
And even though I was scared, but it eventually turned right. I think
it
had to do with food.
Okay.
He was starving really and wouldn't eat. So, but eventually that idea or that I was just strongly convinced that, okay, if I combine this and this, he will be able to eat it and he will just be fine.
Okay.
And so it worked. It worked.
That's a very good. It worked
because it took me time. I kept trying to say no. I don't think this will work for this child based on this and this and these facts, the things that I see. I don't think this will work. But the moment I decided, you know what, I'm just going to give this a try. Because I'm so convinced. I'm seeing certain things, So, and I did that.
And eventually it worked.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, for instincts, I think for me it's an everyday thing.
Okay. So yes, instincts are regular.
Instincts, yes. It's regular. Instinct tells me this child has not what word did I use? I'm trying to find a relatable experience. For example, I realized that maybe my child has the way he's working, it's not the way he usually works.
Okay.
It could be that something is wrong somewhere. Did he play? Somewhere. Yes, did he play and hurt himself? And of course he's so little, he cannot actually expressly tell me, Mommy, this is exactly what has happened to me. So I observe him, but then even though there's no physical sign of maybe any sign of hurt, physical injury of some sort, I still know that there's just a difference with the way he's working that is not, it's sort of different. Right. And I'll go ahead and then maybe take off his shoes and I realize, oh, there it is.
Oh.
It's a very little thing.
Wow.
And then if I actually ignore that, it could actually become more inflamed. So what happens is
your instinct
yes, my instincts move me, then I go and try to straighten the toes and feel if there's any hurt or dislocation, something that could have happened within and you won't be able to see it.
Wow, thank you so much, Mrs. Victoria. I love this two very insightful examples. Our mothers out there, I'm sure you could relate, especially if you've got toddlers. Another reason why I felt it was good for a mother of a toddler to handle this, because maternal instincts work regularly for mothers that are nursing toddlers and babies that actually can't express exactly how they feel in terms of teething, diarrhea, whatever they are going through in their internal system. So can you just share with us what could be the likely implication of a mother who has failed not to pay attention to her maternal instincts in terms of conviction, intuition, or whatsoever?
Consequences.
One or two.
Wow. You see, for kids, for children, we are like the only persons who can actually literally protect them. Of course, they relate with dads. Dads can also function. When I say maternal instincts or convictions, it's not necessarily limited to the woman or the
Okay.
person or the mother. As long as there's a bond between that child and someone else who is taking care,
I like that.
there would always be that thing, that push, that urge to want to go out and then care for that child. So some of the consequences of not following one's conviction is that apart from regret, you're definitely going to regret most of the time.
Because something might be bound.
Yes, because something might be bound to happen, and then God help you, it's not something that
Could be dangerous.
that could be dangerous, or a life-saving situation, and then you refuse to take that particular step. Words, I don't have the words to actually describe what that would mean. So if you don't follow your convictions, if you don't follow your intuitions, you lose
out of it.
You lose the ability to be able to protect that child or protect your children, and it diminishes the bond between.
Okay.
Yes, I believe. I
That's
believe
true.
it diminishes the bond because, it's just like something you're not using constantly. Any part of your body that you don't constantly use, over time, it just diminishes
it
in
goes
value.
fallow. So same with our intuitions and
I believe the
convictions.
same thing applies
Wow.
to the intuition. If you don't form the habit of consistently
Be sensitive to
be
it.
sensitive, and might I also add that some people believe that it's not all instincts are to be followed. I think that might be true, but then there has to be a point where you depend on the leading of the Holy Spirit, which I believe you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
To be able to differentiate between
Which
what
is the
is just
negative or the
between what is just a false alarm or something that you really, really need to pay attention to. So if you look at it, or ultimately you find out that there are far more reaching consequences of not following that leading. Okay, because then God can actually relate to you. You might call it intuition, another person might call it conviction, but it could be a leading.
True.
Do you understand? It
Both
could be
aspects.
Yes, it could be a leading. So if you don't follow it, you find out that you begin to experience failure, as your role, as being a mother, or the role of being a mother. Yes, you experience that failure. You experience that feeling of regret. And nothing kills a mom. Nothing, for example, personally now, there's nothing that is as disappointing as knowing fully well that you should have done this.
Or it came to your attention.
Yes, it came to your attention, but you decided to ignore it.
Yeah, I totally I can relate to that, which I will explain further in my intro video. Thank you so much, Mrs. Victoria. Viewers, if you're watching, this is very essential for every mother. Even mothers that have grown-up children, because I believe some mothers don't have their eyes on the ground, or they get so busy not to pay attention to those little nudges and thoughts when they come, thought-provoking, things that just stimulates you, because you are so triggered or carried away with so many things. You don't pay attention. At the end of the day, it has resulted to so many deaths of children. Please, do you have any take home to give the viewers? Because I think you've said a lot. You've made a lot of very rich contributions. Just a take home for them. Something every mother would like to go home and think about and reflect on.
I'm a young mother, and I realized that as life continues in this era that we are right now, one cannot depend on a superficial feeling, or relating to your children or your child based on just flimsy things, like just on the surface level. What I mean by that is it's very important that you allow God to lead you to know what is best for your child, because that child has just been entrusted to you.
You're a custodian.
You're a custodian. The child has been entrusted to you, So it will make absolutely no sense, to leave the person who owns the soul of that child and think that you can use your own surface knowledge or little skills, just to be able to continue, Because right now we're in a world where there's a whole lot of negative influence.
Absolutely.
You know,
you can say that.
yes, there's a whole lot of negative influence. I mean, it's possible that you're even leading your child thinking that is the right way. And you're doing all your work, you're actually carrying out a whole lot of, efforts to try and see that the child or your children turn out right. But you don't know what external forces,
out there,
or influences they encounter out there. So what do you do? So that it's very important that we as mothers in this end time, or in this generation we found ourselves, in this era, we have to make it a point of duty to not just relate with kids. You relate with them on the physical, you also have to be there for them, spiritually. You also have to make sure that you keep harnessing that leading, keep forming a habit of following your convictions, and keep making sure that the Holy Spirit leads you to be able to take the right decision. And the truth is, we are so fortunate to have a God who is willing.
As long as He
is so willing, and God is so amazing that you don't even have to be a perfect person. There's no perfect person, but you don't even need. He leads virtually anyone who is willing. So that willingness is really, really key.
It's key.
It's really key. And I think for us, for my advice would be, while we try as much as possible to do our best as mothers, we also have to realize that our kids depend on us spiritually.
And they can't pray for themselves.
They can't pray for themselves. Of course, they learn how we teach them how to pray. But there's a whole lot of work. The work is not just making food for them, catering for them, changing or water. There's a whole lot of work that should be done at the point of our mind, the spiritual, your soul. It's an all round business. So. Basically.
Wow, thank you so much, Mrs. Victoria. She has given us a whole lot. I have to go back and listen to this. And you viewers watching, I do believe you've learned a thing or two, especially with in terms of, she mentioning forming that bond beyond the physical bonding. There has to be this, you taking this to the children, each and every one. I believe that each and every child has got a special purpose God has ordained for that child. And it takes the mother to stand in place of prayer, to be able to discern, the Holy Spirit to be able to discern what you should do. There are times that I could be, doing something, or I could be praying, and then the Lord would drop in my spirit what I should do with this child, what I should teach this child, or what evil thing a child might be doing in the room. There are incidences where the Spirit of God told me, go and check on Jessica, what she's doing right now in the room. And it turned out that she was doing something really naughty at that time. So it takes a mother praying, because God is willing, as you said, to it takes willingness for us to, come to God and, admit that we need His help and support. Yes, generally He helps everyone, every mother, believers and unbelievers alike. I know a lot of unbelievers that, have this instinct and intuition. That's God being a merciful God. He makes the rain to fall on the good and the bad. Yeah. So, but then again, I think every mother should build a relationship with God and the Holy Spirit for clear, convictions and discernment regarding our children. And with that being said, I think we'll end this episode on that note. Until then, see you next episode. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. God bless you. Bye.